Thanks for watching. I'm Margot Kinberg, and this is In the Spotlight, a closer look at a crime novel. Coming-of-age stories can be really engaging. They can run the gamut from really dark, gritty stories to light, fun, comic stories, and just about everywhere in between. Let's take a look at a coming-of-age story today and turn the spotlight on Kevin Wilson's Now Is Not the Time to Panic. It's 1996 in Coalfield, Tennessee, and 16-year-old Frankie Budge is a bit at loose ends. She gets along well enough with her mother and her triplet older brothers, but she doesn't want to spend the whole summer with them. One day she meets Zeke Brown, a gifted artist who's staying in Coalfield for the summer. Frankie herself is a bit of a wordsmith, so she and Zeke understand each other's creativity, and they strike up a friendship. They also create a unique poster that includes both of their talents, and they're both very proud of it. They decide to hang up copies of the poster around town without identifying themselves, just to see what will happen. And that's where the trouble begins. The residents of the town start to wonder what's behind the posters. Is it Satanism? Is it some sort of abduction? Is something going on? In fact, this leads to a lot of anxiety and suspicion. People begin to watch each other and wonder what's going on. This is going to actually be called the Coalfield Panic of 1996 later on. Things get even more complicated when someone else copies the poster and puts that new creation up in places that Frankie and Zeke didn't post their poster. The story even makes the national news. That's how much panic it causes. And Frankie and Zeke don't quite know what to do now that things have gotten so out of hand. They can't admit it was they who started things, but at the same time, they want the whole thing to die down. It all leads to some dangerous, even tragic places neither expected. But they both go on to try to live their lives. Then, 20 years later, Frankie has become a well-known writer. Her whole world is turned upside down one day when she gets a call from Mazzie Brower, who's a journalist. She contacts Frankie asking about the Coalfield Panic since Mazzie is doing a story on it. Since Frankie lived there at the time, Mazzie thinks she might know something about the panic or give some background. Now Frankie will have to decide what to do. Should she admit what happened? Should she involve Zeke? She's going to face a difficult set of questions. So, what are the elements in this novel? What keeps it going? Well, it's certainly not a typical crime novel. There isn't a crime and the police solve it. Although the police do get involved, it is a mystery, but a different sort of mystery. But it is also, as I said at the beginning, a coming-of-age story. We follow along as Frankie and Zeke try to figure out their world, deal with the insecurities and triumphs of adolescence, and experiment with their feelings for each other. It's not really a love story, but they do have to work out what their relationship will be, and their friendship is unique. The story takes place in a small town, and Wilson depicts it. Businesses aren't really thriving, young people are a bit aimless, and there are a lot of undercurrents of conservative religion. It's against this backdrop that we see how much impact posters have. The story is told from Frankie's point of view, first person, past tense. She has mixed feelings about nearly everything. She sees the poster as something unique that she and Zeke created together, and she doesn't want anything to change that. She doesn't want that to go away. It gives her a sense of empowerment, so she feels the pressure as Mazzie urges her to tell the truth about the posters. She also feels guilt about the uproar and even tragedy that came from putting up the posters. Since the story is told from her point of view, we also see her growth as the story goes on. Her point of view adds wit to the story too. We also see Zeke through Frankie's eyes. He's gifted, but in his way, he's fragile. He's not as adventurous as Frankie is, although he's not a coward. And he has his own emotional burdens to bear. For Zeke, his friendship with Frankie adds a very different dimension to his life. Now is Not the Time to Panic is a coming-of-age story that takes place in a small southern U.S. town. It features a mystery told from the point of view of the ones who are responsible and a protagonist whose life is forever changed by one summer. This has been In the Margot Kinbert. Thanks for watching.